Eddie here. I wanted to make this video. I know it's the day after Thanksgiving, but I really don't I don't believe in taking too much rest or time off. And plus, these reports just came out, so I wanted to be sure to share with you, my fellow Margate residents, because it's extremely important to be aware and up and coming of what is actually coming onto the market and what's happening with the real estate market across the board. So before we get started, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. Of course, you can DM me or call me or text me. My information is always in the description. As well, there's a link in the description as well that will take you to a page so you can actually have this PDF for yourself if you choose to look at it on your own more thoroughly. And my contact information will be on top as well. So let's jump straight into it. Now, what we're looking at is the real estate statistical report for the city of Margate, as we can see, for October 2018. The reason why it's October and not November is because, well, November's not over, and these reports get released at the end of that month. So that's why I like to share it, and that's why I usually make the videos around 20-something of the month, the following month. So jumping straight into it, remember how to read the columns. So the first thing to remember is 2017 October, 2018 October, then the change. Then we have year to date, same thing. January to October 2017, January to October 2018, and then the amount of change. The first little batch right here is all single family. That's why it's single family homes. And down here is townhouses and condos. Now, as we move our way further down the map, you're going to see a couple other statistics. So jumping straight out of the gate, when we look just month over month, month to month versus the year, we see in 2017 we had 32 sales. In 2018, we had 33. In 2017, 32 in 2018. We see that the average price was $243,742, and now the average price is $277,884, which is an increase of about 13, let's call it 14%. And then we also have new listings coming on the market. 44 last year, there's 57 this year. Definitely hefty percentage increase. That's definitely something to keep in mind, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later in a more thorough way. Next thing, looking year to year or year over year, back to back. Last year, 238. This year, 315. My bad, 338, 315, and then we see that change go down. We see here average price 256 to 278. That went up. And then number of new listings 243 to 283. So we see this trend happening once again. We see fewer homes here are closing, even though it's one, still fewer than last year. We see the average sales price go up, and now we're starting to see even more properties enter the market. Now, we've talked about before, and this is with single-family homes, we've talked about this trend before, and this is extremely valuable and something to keep in mind. And, of course, we hear it all the time that, you have a real estate professional say, well, now's the time to sell, because they're greedy or whatever. But the whole thing that I'm focusing on now is just educating and trying to help those who even contemplating selling or renting, predominantly selling here. This may be an indicator of what's about to happen. So we see here that we have fewer homes closed, but we have more houses enter the market and they're selling for more money. So as people see prices of real estate continue to climb, what they're going to do, like everybody usually does it, is that when things are starting to climb, they're like, oh, maybe I should enter the market now and sell my property or sell whatever you're selling at that particular time because it's selling for a high rate. Same thing when you start doing market timing with investments, stocks and things of that nature. You try to sell at the high and buy at the low. Now with real estate, obviously it's a little different than stock trading. But the one principle you have to keep in mind is that you want to definitely do your best to sell your home during the time when the market's not super saturated and the prices are still fairly high and there's still activity of purchasing going on. And then you also don't want to, get into the mix of things when it shifts and becomes an oversaturated market. Are we there yet? I don't feel as if we're there, and the stats aren't showing us that we're in oversaturation yet, but we could see it on the horizon sooner than later. But looking at the townhomes and condos, we see something happen here that's radically different, which is very interesting to take a look at, is that last year in October, townhomes and condos, 25 versus 37. So more sold this month, or October of 2018, as opposed to October of 2017. Also, the average price went down. And then we had number of listings went up. So we had more listings close, the price went down, more listings entered the market. It's kind of what you may see in the single family home market sooner than later, because of the mere fact that once you have more properties out there, you're going to see this shift, because people are going to want to sell their homes, so they're going to be competing with each other. And that competition usually sparks an idea of, lowering price. Because when you're selling real estate, in the 7+ years I've been doing this as a real estate professional and helping families and people, individuals, is that, there are three things that usually kill a listing. Either A, it's priced incorrectly. That's why a comparable market analysis is extremely important, and consistently looking at the market, updating yourself on what's going on. Availability and showing, the home can't be shown appropriately. And the last thing you see is that the digital marketing or the digital media isn't there, meaning there's no photography, there's no drone photography, there's no 3D virtual tour, there's no virtual staging. Very little was done to market the property appropriately. So when we start seeing, those indicators usually will kill a listing. They won't get the exposure it needs to. But here we see with the stats that condos and townhomes, more have sold, selling for less, more people are entering the market. So going down just a bit, you're going to see here, and I kind of zoom in a little bit for you guys. You're going to see right here that you have median sales price, single family homes. Now remember, the orange is Margate. The orange is Margate, and the gray is the entire Greater Fort Lauderdale Association, Palm Beach Association, basically the Tri-County area. So if you look here, 2008 at the peak, and we saw this radical drop over the last, that last year or so, or 2 years. And then we saw a slight recover and then a dip, and then we started seeing a gradual recover. If you look, the prices for single-family homes are now exceeding what they were in 2008. Now that's, 10 years ago. So you got to start asking yourself, if you're trying to hold out for top dollar, you kind of want to catch that wave before you start heading down into the valley. So that's the single-family homes. With the median prices we see here with condos, co-ops, and townhomes, we see that the Margate market has not been, in the condo and townhome world, has not been as, it hasn't recovered as drastically as the single family market has. We haven't even seen it match, nay exceed the 2008 numbers. And then we see here in the overall Tri-County area, we see that as well. I think a lot has to go into the fact of in which the way our townhomes and condos are, the number of them, how they're situated, things of that nature for our city. So this is the October numbers. Once again, you can get all this information. I'll put a link above. If you ever need help looking to sell or buy in Margate or in the Tri-County area, I'm more than happy to help you. Now, let's really quickly, before we call it quits, I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison. So you just got to hang on there with me for a second while I bring these side-by-sides so that you're able to see what it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to try to zoom in as much as I possibly can so you guys can see side-by-side as clearly as you can. So we have on the right-hand side September's numbers. We have on the left-hand side October's numbers. Okay, so let's check out some things. Remember what we talked about in the last one, because we start usually seeing in August, September, a little slower because of school and things like that. In October, you usually see a pickup. November, same thing. December, depending on the holiday and fluctuations, so on and so forth. But if we're just looking at this column right here, so we're going to look at this column and this column. So we see in October, we see the number of single-family homes being 32 closed. September was 20. Pricing, 277, 279. So it went down from month to month, went 2,000. Then we went pending, 30 to pending. I believe pending's right there to 30. Okay, so 31 to 30. New listings, 57 to 31. So we had 31 new listings enter the market in September. We had 57 enter the market in October. Now scooting over just a little bit, or excuse me, I'm going to go down because we want to look at condos and townhomes. Condos and townhomes, we see the same thing happening. Let's see. 24 to 37. So we had 24 closed deals. Now we had 37. Price went from 94,901 to 108.46. So month over month, not too bad. But we saw the decline from year to year. And then we see here pending sales, 34, 38, new listings, 30 to 58. So we can see by looking at that, we can definitely tell a couple of things that, more people are entering the market, and more homes are entering the market. And then, of course, we see that the prices are fluctuating. But anyways, guys, I do my best to try to keep us all updated with what's going on with our real estate market. I surely do hope that this helps. And I'm always here to answer any and all questions. So, yeah, have a great day.